How's it going, everyone? Doc here with Eyes Wide Shot Gaming, and today we are going to take a nice look over the 3 brand new characters and their skills. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all of the First Descendant news, info, builds, and breakdowns, as well as many other games. Alright, so let's get into it. We can start with SMO. His role on our team is Burst DPS, who handles explosives. He has the ability to attach bombs to enemies and detonates them at the right time. The main attribute is fire, so we didn't even need to read the explosives part. We already knew he was going to blow something up. SMO's passive skill is called Adventitious Habit, and what it causes him to do is drop a bomb on the ground when his shield is completely depleted, sort of like Martyrdom. For his first active skill, we have Time Bomb. This is a tech skill and it launches a sticky bomb forward, which attaches to an enemy or terrain feature on contact. Already off to a great start. SMO's second skill is simply called Blast and is on the fusion skill side of things, where he instantly detonates attached bombs. The bomb damage increases with the number of attached bombs. So if there is no cap on how many bombs we can attach before they start to despawn, this skill might become something wildly overpowered for boss grinding. The third skill is Guided Landmine, and again this is back on the tech skill tree, which this skill places a guided landmine at the current location where SMO is standing. Once it is placed, the guided landmine will fly to an enemy within its detection range and attach to it. Again, another bomb just like the first skill that we can use to attach to enemies. And finally, the last skill is Arc Explosion. With it, SMO starts moving forward fast and on collision with an enemy while charging inflicts knockback. When the movement ends, it deals damage to nearby enemies and removes buffs from them. After the skill ends, SMO enters Madness state. So we may have caught a glimpse of this skill in a video the First Descendant put out a few weeks ago, but we can basically see he turns into a rhino, and once it ends, the damage dealt might be in the form of an explosion. As far as the Madness state, we can assume that it is similar to Glaze Berserk mode, allowing us some sort of buff to either our skill damage or mitigation from the damage we do take. Our next Descendant is Enzo, and I am very excited to play as this character. They take on the support role on our team. What kind of support? Well, it's in the form of ammo and drones. I see this character to be similar to Zane from Borderlands with his drones. The passive skill is called Shoot Support, which grants fire support to allies within an area around Enzo, increasing the max ammo capacity. The efficiency of this effect increases marginally with the number of Enzos on the squad. Otherwise, the efficiency increases when Enzo disarms the security of the encrypted vault, causing the rewards to increase. What does this mean? The developers at Nexon seem to have had the foresight not to implement 4 Enzos having unlimited ammo, so the efficiency per each Enzo on the team is very small. But when it comes to the encrypted vaults, we will have to wait and find out how this will function, and will this character become a must-have for every single team. The first skill on Enzo's list is Start Supply. Going into singular modules, this skill summons a bullet supplying device at the designated location. This device supplies bullets to allies that approach the device, so that's great. We might not even need to interact with it at all, and perhaps just run by or glide by. The bullet supplying device can be used only once by each ally, and then disappears once everyone has used it or its duration ends. So this is already a massive skill for all of us that are focusing heavy weapons like launchers and snipers, especially if the modules focused on Enzo will fall into having a quick cooldown for this skill. The next skill is Explosive Drone, and as you can tell from its name, it launches an explosive drone forward. The drone explodes on contact with an enemy or a terrain object, dealing damage. This is a dimension skill and should be used as such. Only question will be, does the explosion from the drone hurt our Enzo or not? Our third skill is Enhanced Combat Suit. This skill is another dimension skill and it summons a shield recovery comm. When the shield recovery comm is summoned, it will recover Enzo's energy shield by a certain amount and then continue to recover the energy shield through its effects. So this is a skill that will rejuvenate our shield in those situations where we are spec'd into shield instead of defense and health, giving us basically an extra percentage to our overall shield. And the last skill on this Descendant is Perfect Support. This is a singular skill which summons a small supply ship to Enzo and allies. The ship periodically provides ammo and grants perfect support to allies, which I can safely assume is in the form of either shield or ammo. The supply ship also attacks enemies in front while it is active, and when the skill ends, it fires a missile forward that causes a big explosion. So this brings up our question of how much damage the ship does and how much damage the missile will do. That way we can see if we should focus singular modules and skill cooldown modules to keep the ship coming back quickly for the missile, or if we should focus more so on how long we can have the skill active. Regardless, we can't wait to test out some builds with Enzo. Finally, we get to the third and last character. We have been very excited about this Descendant since we first found out that we are getting a Descendant that focuses healing. I'm of course talking about Eugen. As I said, this is a support role character, a healer supporter who uses his select drones to heal allies as well as grants them beneficial buffs. Eugen's passive skill is called Stop Overreacting, which significantly reduces the time to rescue allies, and those that have been rescued by Eugen have increased maximum health points for a certain period of time. Moving over to the first skill, we get Solidarity Healing, a singular skill which summons a recovery drone which attaches to allies and heals them. The allies that are getting healing also get an increase to their attack through an accelerant effect upon dismissal. Already off to a potent start with this drone that we can toss and attach to our allies to keep their health padded. The second skill in Eugen's arsenal is Restructure Serum. This is a fusion skill that fires a Restructure Serum forward that decreases defense and inflicts allergy. This is something I must be hit with every spring, I guess. Now, when attacking enemies with allergy, it heals nearby allies and grants additional healing to allies who kill the enemy. Again, this requires some testing to see if that additional healing to allies is on the final hit or everyone who assisted in the enemy's death. The third skill is Stimulant Spray, a singular skill which grants stimulation to allies, and while stimulation is active, incoming damage is reduced and recovery is received when stimulation ends. Another skill that mitigates damage as well as heals on end. Last but certainly not least, the fourth skill, a fusion skill called Hyper-Reactive Healing Ground. That's a mouthful. This seems to be a dome that Eugen drops, which heals us and our allies, granting purification and immunity to remove and prevent debuffs. Additional recovery is based on the number of allies and enemies within range. Eugen is granted Hyperactivity effect, which increases his attack and skill power. A very mighty ability indeed that again heals us and our teammates. Overall, with the right modules focused, I see Eugen being one of the most important and widely needed characters on any team. Well, that pretty much concludes the 3 new characters. We don't have any information on Luna just quite yet, aside from what we saw, aside from all the speculation. But once we do find out some concrete information, we will be sure to go ahead and make some content, make a video, and cover Luna separately. Don't forget everyone, July 2nd is the release date, and you can find out at what exact time Nexon will be releasing the First Descendant on their website, which I will link down below. And if you want to read through the skills of each and every single character, that is also on their official website, which I will link below too, as well as if you want to see every character's backstory, exclusive equipment, and abilities. As always, Descendants, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and until next time, so long.